Shalom. I want to give all the glory and the praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakah, Quadash, the apostles, the elders, and the bishops of the Great Millstone. Shalom to all full elect, to the remnant of the Israelites and the Israelite foreigners that don't look like us, but you are us. Shalom. Okay, now, the title's lesson is going to be justified or condemned. All right? Justified or condemned. Now, before I start grabbing precepts on these words, let me get a definition out of the etymology online first. All right. Okay, justified in the etymology. Justified. It says made right. Past participle. Salak if I said that word wrong. Adjective for justify. All right, so right here, before I go to the word justify, if y'all see that, justified, made right. All right, made right. You know, so while we in this truth, we striving to be made right. We striving to be justified. Even though we already know Israel going to be justified, all of Israel is going to be justified in the kingdom. But as of right now, to get to salvation, we choosing to be made right to get to salvation. We don't want to be made right after salvation. Because most likely, if you get made right after salvation, you done caught that nuclear fire. Okay? So we're looking forward to be justified for salvation as of right now. But let me get justified, though, real quick. So justified, let me get justified, since it's just adjective, whatever they were saying. All right, justified. It says to administer justice, to show something to be just or right. From Old French, justifier, submit to court's proceeding. Such, whatever. Okay, here we go. Act justly towards. Make just. From Latin, I don't know, Slovakia. A lot of these words I have a problem with pronunciation. Okay? Don't mind me. Yeah, basically dealing justly, righteous. So basically, let me just show y'all too also. All right, if you can see. Yeah, justified. I don't know if it's a little blurry or whatever. But you get the point, man. We striving to be justified, to be made right, okay? Now let me get the word condemned. All right, condemned in the etymology online. Of persons found guilty, at fault, under sentence, doomed. Doomed. Past participle adjective from condemn, of things or property found unfit for use, adjudged to be unwholesome, dangerous. So basically, if you condemn, in other words, you are unfit for use. You are worthless. You know you're not useful. But let me get condemned real quick. It says to blame, censor, pronounce judgment against. Slovakia, I can't pronounce all these words. Here we go. It says to sentence, doom, blame, disapprove. So basically, if you condemn, you are doomed. You there ain't no coming back. There ain't no being justified. You are doomed. Okay, now in order to be justified in this truth, the apostles and elders been telling us for the longest, you had to have faith. In order to have faith, you gotta have not in order to have faith, but you had to have faith in Yahweh Shai. All right, Yahweh Yahweh Shai. Okay, because at the end of the day, Yahweh Shai is Yahweh's son, and his son has sacrificed us. His son has sacrificed himself just so we could be justified. So I'm about to go to Galatians. Galatians 2:16. We might get the word precept basically off of justified, how we need to be justified through faith. All right, we're gonna get made right through faith. Galatians chapter 2:16 in the KJV. Knowing that a man is not justified by the works of the law, but by the faith of Yahushua. All right, so basically he's saying we know that man is not going to be made right just through by the law, but having faith in Yahushua. Basically what he's saying. So always keep in mind for all the newcomers, you cannot fulfill every last law that the Lord commanded us to do. Esau done rigged everything. That's why he said, do what you can to your best ability. That's why Yahushua was the ultimate sacrifice. So we can be justified through faith, not just with the laws, because the laws, if you try to fulfill all the laws, you're going to fail. All right? Just for one example, from what I heard one of the brothers was saying with the fabrics, even down to the elastic on our drawers, you're going off. That's why the Lord said we're going to be justified. Basically, we're going to be made right through faith in Yahushua. Okay? Even we have believed in Yahushua that we might not be justified by Shalak. Let me read that over. I'm gonna put my own words, move too fast. Galatians 2:16. Knowing that a man is not justified by the works of the law, but by the faith of Yahushua. Even we have believed in Yahushua that we might be justified by the faith of Yahushua and not by the works of the law. For by the works of the law shall no flesh be justified. And the reason why I said that, because why? Esau already rigged everything. You already got everything set up. Then pork is inside of everything. You have mixed fabrics on stuff. There's a lot more other things too. But I ain't trying to get too deep. Trying to stick to the main topic. All right, be justified or condemned. Well, basically, having faith in Yahushua, you will be justified. Do what you can to your best ability. Now, I'm gonna get some precepts on condemned. I'm gonna go to John chapter 3. All right, now, I could start at 16. John chapter 3, verse 16. For God so loveth the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever so believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Now the apostles and the elders and like-minded brethren already broke it down, let it be known. John 3:16 is not talking about the whole world, okay? They already broke it down that this was translated from Greek to English, and the real meaning about the word world has already been told. But personally, I'm about to go to another aspect of it. Now think about how we live in here in America. It's a whole nother world compared to the other worlds. I mean, not the other worlds, but the other places outside of America. For example, Brazil. Living in Brazil, you're like in a whole nother world compared to America. Living in the Philippines, you're like a whole nother world compared to America. Living on any island, anywhere outside of America, even for the people that are living out there in the Philippines, when they come to America, it's like a whole nother world. All right? So if the Lord is saying this book was preached to Pacific people, basically he was only preaching to the world of the Israelites. All right? Why I think they say you got third world country, second world country? Because living in them different places in the world are different. It's totally different. It's not the same. That's just another way how to look at it. So basically, if this word was being preached to the Israelites, it was only in the world of the Israelites, the Israelite world, their culture, their like way of living. Hopefully you can get basically what I'm saying. I ain't trying to go off topic. I want to get back on the subject though, being condemned. Okay, now 17. For God has sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. So basically, the Lord did not send his Son down here to punish all of Israel. All right? Only the ones that sincerely believe in this Son is the ones that's going to be saved. They're going to get justified. But the ones that don't have faith in Yahushua, they're going to be condemned. They're going to be doomed. They'll be considered unworthy, worthless. All right, yeah. Verse 18. He that believeth on him is not condemned. Basically, you are not doomed. But he that believeth not is doomed already, because he had not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of Yahweh. All right, so basically, in other words, either you want to be justified or condemned. You want to be made right for salvation or doomed for salvation. Basically, you ain't going to get the salvation if you're doomed. It's not for you. That's why the title of the lesson is justified or condemned. You either want to be justified or you will be condemned. You either going to be made right or you're going to be doomed, unworthy. Now I'm going to grab one more precept, close out. I'm right here, Matthew 12:37. For by the words thou shalt be justified, and by the words thou shalt be condemned. So by the words that you choose to believe on is what's going to decide what's going to happen to you. So basically, if you believe on the words of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, Wah, Holy Spirit, Rakah, Kodash, most likely going to be justified, justified for salvation. But if you believe anything or listen to the words outside of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, you basically is condemned. You are doomed. So you're gonna get justified after salvation, which is that nuclear fire. And for the most part, everybody's in the truth sincerely right now. You want to get justified for salvation. We want to be justified after salvation. All right. So, and just in case you don't know what I mean by justified after salvation, basically you being justified, made right through nuclear fire. All right. Basically what I'm saying. So, hopefully that was edifying. Straight to the point. I want to give all the glory and the praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash, the most apostles, the elders, and the bishop of the great millstone. So I want to hope for elect, which are the remnant of the Israelites and the Israelite foreigners that don't look like us, but they are us. Shalom. Y'all keep striving, man. Keep striving to be justified. Keep striving to be made right. You do not want to be condemned, which is doomed for that nuclear fire. All right? Shalom.